Hello guys, it's me, Red David Dinosaur, and today with a new video. Yesterday, a new premium car pack was released in Forza Horizon 5. It contains the Pagani Huayra R, the Nissan Altima Ultimaniac, the Lotus Elise, and the Saleen Sports Truck XR. It's basically an F1, basically a raced F150, but that's pretty much it. Well, this is worth it. Are these four vehicles worth it to buy and to spend $5 on? We're gonna find that out in this review. When I just pick the vehicles one by one and test them and see if there is customization, how they sound, and all that stuff. So let's begin. First, we got the Saleen Sports Truck XR. Basically a pickup truck lifted for off-roading. Is in B666. Yeah, curious name, a curious number to stay, but well, that's how the vehicle is. B8 powered, the customization and everything is what you are seeing right now. Well, overall, pretty just box standard off-road pickup truck. Much better in my opinion than the Berti F250 transformer that we got in the last monthly update. Is way faster, but in B700 I think is much better to stay in, not put any A or even S1 if it's able to. Is a much better choice. Is pretty competent. It has really good handling, really good acceleration, and it defends itself in the top speed. There is one thing that I also that you're gonna see in this review that usually in the race as well. That usually when you jump and when you land so hard into the ground, like you stop flat out. It's like you can just go 160, and when you jump and you land, it's like you just lose everything. It's like zero. You just stop completely. I don't know if it's basically the suspension just collapsing or it's just the race that is just a bit stupid, but it is what it is. But overall, pretty box standard truck. Nothing too exciting or bad of this. It's just your average lifted off-roader. If you like it, well, that's your chance to get this Saleen. That again is something different than the typical Liberty trucks that we got, or the Hummer EV. I think it's in between those two. The Hummer EV is a bit too fast and it's an electric truck. Meanwhile, the Liberty F250 is just is there, but the acceleration is not that great and it's not as cool as this F250. In my opinion, this is this Saleen truck. I think this one sits very well in the middle of an A-class truck and C-class, to call it that way. For me, it's like the perfect B700. So let's continue. We have the Lotus Elise, beautiful car to look at. The sound is great. Sits in A-class sports cars. What to say about this? Well, the customization is not existent. It's not like Need for Speed Unbound, but you can just just put parts here and there to go to A700, which is I think the best position to put this car. What to say about this thing? Well, as much good looking and amazing sounding this thing is, it has the handling and it has the acceleration, but completely lacks top speed. Like, I had quite some hard time beating the AI on professional with this thing, because usually they caught me on the straight lines. When they were like these fast sectors of the race, they always get like a really huge advantage because the car didn't have the enough top speed. Well, I'm not saying it's like it reaches top speed too fast, but I'm saying it's like it just gets stuck, or just simply or in some way doesn't want to reach a top speed. It's really weird. Maybe with a better tuning setup this will be better, but I just want to keep the car as stock and good looking as possible. Usually when you put the tuning setup, usually tuners just mess around with the look of the car. But on this, I think again it's a nice little A700. It's amazing to look at, but the top speed is not there. It just lacks that part. It would be a much better vehicle if it was much faster to reach its top speed. But you will have a really hard time to get the competition with this thing, especially in a really fast race. Like it is again, it's not bad, but it just I consider what this car is. It has really good handling and acceleration, but the rest is not there. But that's what it is, the vehicle. So let's continue with the next one. Now we have the Pagani Huayra R. Yeah, this is one of the cars that many people think that is basically the best seller of the pack. Well, this thing is surprising. It sounds like the Huayra R, not as like a screaming banshee as the YouTube videos, but it sounds good. It sounds decent. It's a really nice looking Pagani as usual. The Horacio Pagani always just gets really beautiful designs, even in race cars like this. But what more to say? Well, it's your typical race car, you know? It handles very well, it has really good acceleration, well, something that kinda is surprising from a rear-wheel drive car. Not many have that thing. Usually they spin their wheels and go apeshit, but in this it's like actually really good. As I said, the handling is amazing. Also, I think the top speed is really surprising too. Usually when it comes to these track cars, you get a lot of handling, a lot of acceleration, but when it comes to top speed, you start suffering because usually you get the Devos or really fast-tuned cars that overpass, 1,000 horsepower, and they usually are the ones that they're gonna beat you on a straight line, because your car is so focused on air. But on this, I think usually the lines of the car actually work so much to get like a balance between a really good top speed and actually really good handling for like short tracks like the one I'm testing. In my opinion, this car is actually really good. Yes, it's not gonna be the 440 km/h car that many people is expecting, but let's put it in perspective that it's a track car. If you want that, just put a Copo Camaro from the Hot Wheels pack and just put a lot of parts into it, and there you go. You have a dragster, or put like a Lamborghini Huracan or something like that, and it's much better suited for those situations than a track car like this. Beautiful car. I think it didn't disappoint. It delivers what the high expectations that many people had. And yeah, not too much to talk about this thing. So yeah, let's continue to the last one. Last one is a surprise and is my highlight. Many people expected the Huayra R to be my highlight, but no. It's actually the Nissan Altima Altimaniac by Chris Fosberg. Man, this thing is really is like a box of surprises, and I love cars that you can tune up or you can just create your own setups and all that stuff. And I think I'm not alone on that thing. Well, this Altima has a GTR engine, pretty modified too. By default, has 1,600 horsepower. So I think even if you are just starting with the game and you just get this pack, I think the best way to get it is just leave it as stock or as much. Just put 4-wheel drive and put some track wheel and some slick tires, and just follow a few steps here and there to just make it as track focused as possible. But this car that's the magic of this thing. Is so as much as a drift car by default, you can actually configure it and as a track car if you want, and will deliver the same results. When it comes to its 2-wheel drive handling, I didn't put it on the video. Is really snappy. Like it's like driving if you see my old video about the Hennessy Venom, that is just not me talking, it's just me doing all the other race. It's very snappy on the back. You have to be really careful with the handling. You have to be focused on what you're doing. A lot of throttle control is involved. It's the same with the Altima when you don't have a four-wheel drive, because again the car, well, is pretty much based on it's a drift car, so usually it's gonna be super snappy at the back. So if you're gonna leave it as that, you're gonna have to be really focused on your race. You're gonna need a lot of throttle control and all that stuff. You have to be you have to keep your mind in the race all the time and in the vehicle, because it's really difficult. But there is a solution that is basically just converted to a four-wheel drive car, and it's much better. As you can see on the footage, it's much better. Controls basically the back doesn't snap anymore. And yes, you have a bit of understeer on the corners. You have to be more careful with that, because when you modify it completely, it's a 2012 horsepower car. It's one of the most powerful cars on the game. So yes, a lot of understeer is gonna happen if you turn this into a four-wheel drive car. But in exchange, you're gonna have a better driving experience than living it in two-wheel drive. So, in my opinion, again, if you want a torque focus car or a drift focus, is up to you. It has a lot of horsepower by default, so even that you can just simply put it four-wheel drive, put the 7-speed transmission, and that's it. I think you have more than enough horsepower by stock. But if you want, you just can put some mods on the car and to an already powerful car and turn it into a 2012 horsepower monster. I had to test this on actually Goliath in the base game, I think, because that track is so focused on top speed. But I think this car will actually feel better in this type of race than in the test track I'm using right now. So overall, yeah, pretty fantastic car for tune-up. So all I have to say, it's a really fun car to just experiment a bit and see what is the best style that is suited for you. And for me, is basically the highlight of this pack, this Nissan Altima. So yeah, let's conclude this and see what it's all about, if it's worth it $5 or not. Well, right now, with all this information in hand, what is all about this pack? If it's worth it $5, I will suggest yes. It's actually, you get for less than $10 two really powerful cars, one useful pickup truck, and a really good looking Lotus. And man, considering the prices of DLC these days, Need for Speed Unbound, for example, is basically asking $30 to get some outfits and some body kits for some of their cars. I think $5 is a good recent price. And again, you have a really good track car that is the Pagani Huayra R, especially if you're starting or is your first track car. At the same time, you have a really cool box of surprises to go that way. The Ultimaniac is really nice car to just experiment and see how it is and what is the best driving style for you. The Ultimaniac is your best way, and also you have a lot of horsepower to play with. The Lotus Emira, yes, it lacks its top speed and all that stuff, but you always can, fix those issues with good tuning, and at the same time, you have a really pretty car to look at. It's probably one of the best looking vehicles in its class. And the pickup truck, yes, it is not as exciting as these three, but it's really useful and it delivers its best power. I think in B class, it actually can be a really good contender for cross country, and it does the job. That's all you need. You just need to wait to see more paint jobs for these four vehicles. Right now they are kind of hideous, but I think in just the future you're gonna see more and more of the more creativity on those cars. But yeah, I will suggest, yeah, if you have $5 to spend, go for it. It's a really cool pack you have. I think is for me is yes, you have in the past the how it is like the past that was the year one, and you have the Ferrari FXXK and a few others, including the Porsche Speedster that is one of my favorites in the game. But this is actually, you know, four new cars for the game, and they are actually pretty decent in their own way. So that I would suggest, yeah, if you have $5, just go for it. Don't think twice about it. But yeah, thank you very much. Hope to see you on the next one, and yeah, take care and see ya.